Issue 9 is here at last. Yeah. Secrets all falling fast. Do tell, do tell. Torn apart from heart to mask. Yacha, yacha. Heroes fighting to the last. Back the book and make your day. Go with curiosity. Trippy shop and drop. Trippy shop and drop. An awesome book that's sure to slay. Bring it up straight to the top. We got your back, baby. No one ever stop. The Great Cyclopean. The great, the greater, the greatest. Click, clack, boom, boom, and bloom. GC9 on Fun My Comic. Dropping names. Great Cyclopean 9 on FMC. This ain't no game. GC9 so fine on FMC. Not no shame. Good stuff exclusively. Let's make it rain. The great, the greater, the greatest. On FMC right now. The Great Cyclopean. Issue 9, baby. Bring back boom boom. Bring back issues free at HeroShack.com. Great PDFs.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Radio Edition pre-show featuring The Great Cyclopean, issue number 9. Now accepting backers at fundmycomic.com. The link is below in the description. Thank you.
He's an alien from outer space. He crushed Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The Great Cyclopean, the Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. A one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. With the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name.
Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great. Cyclopean. The Great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. The fingers always spouting signs. A rising star gonna blow your mind? Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. With the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. With the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Is it there another way? The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great.
Issue 9 is here at last. Yeah. Secrets are all falling fast. Do tell. Torn apart from heart to mask. Yowcha. Heroes fighting to the last. Back the book and make your day. Go with curiosity. Tripping to be shot and drop. Tripping to be shot and drop. An awesome book that's sure to slay. Bring it up straight to the top. We got your back, baby. No one ever stop. The great Cyclopean. The greatest. Click, clack, boom, boom, and bloom. GC9 on Fun, my comic. Dropping names. Great Cyclopean 9 on FMC. This ain't no game. GC9 so fine on FMC. Not no shame. Good stuff exclusively. Let's make it rain. The greatest on FMC right now. The great Cyclopean. Issue 9, baby. Bring back Mundo. Bring back issues free at HeroShack.com. Great PDFs.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. The one I got with the sharpest mind. with the fingers always spouting signs, a rising star with the blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast, torn apart from heart to mast. Heroes fighting to the last. Who's gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast, torn apart from heart to mass. Heroes fighting to the last. Who's gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? Oh, the great Cyclopean, Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great.
He's an alien from outer space, because your worth and he's here to stay. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are falling fast. Torn from heart to mast, heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. And you can get yours now. Back to say the FNC, from the comic you and me. The link is in the box below. Buy a book for the kids you know. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind, with the fingers always spelling signs. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. And you can get yours now. From the comic you and me. The link is in the box below. Buy a book for the kids you know. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind, with the fingers always spouting signs. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Come and get your copy now.
This is over now. Free.
Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast, torn apart from part to mast. Heroes fighting to the last. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great You do great. Like you great. You do great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. Thank you very much, you great. Thank you, great. The great. The great. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. You now. Thank you, great. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. Thank you, great. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. The great. The great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. 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 Thank you, great. Thank you, great. The great. Cyclopean. The great. Thank you. Thank you, gay. The 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 gay. Thank you, gay. The 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 gay. Thank you, gay. Thank you, gay. The great. The great. The great. The great. The great. Thank you, gay. The great. The great. The great. The great. Thank you, gay. Thank you, gay.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great, fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. With the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with the blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean.
fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong, fighting for the greatest good, coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind, with the fingers always spelling signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who's gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Radio Edition pre-show, featuring The Great Cyclopean, issue number 9. Now accepting backers at fundmycomic.com. The link is below in the description. Thank you.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good, coming to your neighborhood. One-eyed guy with the sharpest mind, with the fingers always spouting signs. Rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great.
The great Cyclopean, the great. He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean. The great Cyclopean. The great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Coming to your neighborhood. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. with the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Who is gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mask. Heroes fighting to the last. The great Cyclopean, the great Cyclopean, the great. Up, the great Britain, the great. Up, the great. Up, the great Britain, the great. Fighting against all that's wrong. For the weakest, he is strong. Fighting for the greatest good. Issue 9 is here at last. Yeah. Secrets are all falling fast. Do tell. Torn apart from heart to mask. Yaw-cha. Heroes fighting to the last. Back the book and make your day. Go with curiosity. Tripping, give me shop, drop. Tripping, give me shop and drop. An awesome book that's sure to slay. Back it up straight to the top. We got your back, baby. And we'll never stop. The great Cyclopean, the great, the greater, the greatest. Click, clack, boom, doom, and gloom. GC9 on Fun, my comic. Dropping names. Great Cyclopean 9 on FMC. This ain't no game. GC9 so fine on FMC. Not no shame. Good stuff exclusively. Let's make it rain. The great, the greater, the greatest. On FMC right now. The great Cyclopean. Issue 9, baby. Bring back Mundo. Bring back issues free at HeroShack.com. Great PDFs.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me, Diana?
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
Yes. I can hear you. I'm sorry.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not bad. Did you see what I named the chat or the show?
No, I did not notice that.
An open invitational.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, God. So before we go too far, I don't show my book enough. So, yeah. Link is below. The Great Cyclopean number 9. I guess I'll
Yay.
show the. What's that?
I said yay.
Yay. We are funded, but we're stalled at 3 backers. That sounds horrible, but we are at $795.
Mhm.
49 days to go, so I guess I got to get a trailer up there. Everybody wants one, so I'm working on it.
Yep.
And you can see, I think, can you see the page as I scroll?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this week I added some of the Cardinal artwork, and I'm
Yeah,
wicked
that's
happy with it. Let me see. If
good. Yeah.
did I make it bigger?
Yes, it did.
All right. Yeah, so the Cardinal is a backup story. It's all black and white. No colors on that one, folks. And these are segments of it. Obviously, I don't have all of it in here for good reason. But I'm very excited. It's a very it's still my style, but it's different. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm enjoying the heck out of it, learning a lot about black and white, loving black and white. So
I
yeah, I
know.
would encourage you all to go sign up, get involved, make it happen, make it rain. She giggles. I keep telling her go out and sell stuff. Yeah.
Well, I did.
Yeah, you have actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brother, 9 issues. And really I think it's just the pattern I'm on. I haven't started 10 yet, but I have been working on the Cardinal. So that's something. And the Cardinal takes a little more time because I'm aware that the colors aren't going in there. So I try a little more with the darks. And I think I'm going to bring that to the Great Cyclopean as well. It'll still be colored, but I'm going to bring that kind of style to it. The guy with the hands, his name is Nightmare. Not like as in a dream, but as in the Mare of the Night. And he's played an intricate role in Peter's life, which is exposed in issue 9. It's kind of a surprise twist in the story, but it'll kind of come together as Queen Sting tries to dominate Peter. It's pretty exciting. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think Diana is too, but it's hard to tell. She's an editor, so she has to give me dirty looks.
I did. You're so bad.
Oh, he's quite sinister. The deal with him is when Cyclopean is asleep, that brain is his domain. And when Cyclopean is awake, it's Peter's domain. And I'm probably giving away more than I should, but we only have 7 viewers. It's not like we have
Well,
hundreds
just I think that's okay because you're really not doing. You're not giving away too much. You're kind of building a little bit of character reference for who he is. At least that's how I look at it. Maybe.
Well, I'm quite excited because 10 is, of course, going to be just hopping awesome. And it will conclude the little thing that's going on with Sting for the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell everyone. You know what? The hardest thing, and I've got to wean myself off of X because it's the biggest waste of time. You can post ads on there all day long, and unless you're, tugging the shoestrings of the certain elites, you're not going to get very far. Facebook's always worked far better for us, and yet I struggle with Facebook. Not on how to, but just getting in there and doing it. And I've talked to the marketing department, but there's not much changed yet. I think, didn't marketing schedule ads or something?
Yes. Well, I scheduled, ads on Facebook, and it goes to Instagram as well.
So you're
But
doing better.
I'm waiting for issue 12 to be completed so that I can go forth and put them in a, what do you call them?
Omnibus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go with 13.
What?
Then we're going to have issue 13. And we
No, we're
repeat it all
not.
again for another 12 issues.
Mm-hmm. That has not been discussed. I don't know where this topic is coming from.
Well, what do you think is going to happen? I'm not canceling the series.
No, but all right.
What do you think you would do next?
I thought you were wrapping it up on issue 12 and you were moving on to other stuff.
Oh, well, I might do a one shot of something. I was thinking about doing cluster fudge,
Okay.
a redo.
Yeah,
And there are a couple other things that I'd like to play with, but
there you go.
I'm also not so sure that it's good to abandon my flagship.
Well, I
I'm
didn't think you were going to abandon it, but I did think you were going to do a few other things. You know what I mean? Like what you just mentioned.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
probably won't.
Okay. Well,
I'll
there
probably
you have it.
do another 12 issues of Cyclopean.
We're confused. I'm confused, but it's
It's
okay.
just it's just the way that the river flows.
Yeah, your river flows very weird. Let me
No, it
just tell
doesn't.
you. So, Tim uses both X and Facebook,
Yes.
and he said cluster fudge number 3.
Well, see, what I would do is I'd probably do like a 100-page graphic novel and incorporate the story points of 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
and just redo the whole thing as a graphic novel. Because my art, quite honestly, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but my art right now, compared to what I was doing in Cluster Fudge, is light years different. And I hope
Yeah,
that's always the case.
that's
I, I
true.
I do enjoy that. And I have this thing, like I know a lot of people, we've talked about going back and doing Cyclopean over again, particularly the early issues.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to do it. I like having it there as a testimony to where it's come from and where it's going. And
Yeah, I kind of like that too. It seems like it would be, I don't know, kind of a
well,
neat
and our scope is a
thing.
little different. I'm reaching out to kids. I want kids to see it so they understand that, hey, your first book is not going to look like your 12th book.
Right,
By the time you get to issue 12, you're going to be way better than you were on 1.
right. Well,
Um,
that's the point. Art gets better all the time, you know.
right, but by having the issues there to actually demonstrate it
Yeah.
means a lot to me, at least. It always meant something to me to see examples.
Hmm.
And
Have
yeah,
you ever noticed it on other like authors and things like that um, that you like? Have you ever noticed it like from one issue and then, years later the art is still similar, but it's still
well,
different? Like,
I've seen a lot of artists degrade, which is
oh,
interesting.
Hello.
Hello,
How's it
Tim.
going? Oh,
Awesome.
hey. Can you guys hear me? I'm not breaking up.
No, you sound
no,
wonderful.
hey Tim, you sound great.
Great. Great.
So
Good.
listen, I was listening to Rob Liefeld in an interview, right? And yeah, he got into talking about how artists, when they get older, they sometimes lose it, right? And he was
Right.
talking like how Kirby compared, in his peak compared to the Last God series that he had on DC, and how his art had degraded, and it didn't stop him, but he kept going.
Right.
And I think we've seen it with Frank Miller recently. He's had a lot of weird art come out lately. Um,
Right.
and I don't know, is there a point where guys just start selling it, mailing it in? Or is it like he's genuinely at a different stage in his artwork? I don't know.
I don't know. I think his very last comic book was actually an Image comic book.
Yeah, the last one I remember seeing though was probably it wasn't even a whole book. It was that Wolverine cover that was really weird.
I never saw that.
Oh, let me find it. You'll love this.
I
'Cause
saw a, I saw a sketch on Facebook of like I think it was like a sketch of Wolverine that either Rob or Todd McFarlane did.
was it any good?
It was like Mad Max kind of stuff. So
Huh.
I put on there. I put Mad Logan Beyond Thunderdome.
Let's see if I can get a nice picture of this for you. Open image in a new tab. Did that work? Oh god, that's small. Let me see if I can make this bigger. All right, it's kind of pixelated, but I'll show you guys anyways. Present, share screen. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I don't really need to do that though, right?
Yeah, we can't
Thank
see it.
you. Thanks, Chris. We
So
appreciate it.
That is that's Jack Kirby right there.
But it's Frank Miller.
Oh, it's Frank Miller.
Yes. That's weird, man. I was like, Miller used to like, I don't know. Like, and it could be just that he's being very autistic and he's feeling something there. Because like if
That is the worst.
Wolverine you've ever seen.
Yes. For some reason, I thought we were talking about Jack Kirby, and like it doesn't look like Jack Kirby art, but no. We're
Although
talking
when you
about
said that, in a way, it kind of reminds me, like with just the big, blocky fists and just the
yeah.
ugly artwork, just ugly. It took me a long
Now
time to appreciate Kirby.
I had the Wolverine that Frank Miller did back in the day, and that was great. But that one looked terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what he was thinking. It's quite possible, that's like a big deal to him. Like he's very proud of the accomplishment. But you're talking
Uh,
about this one with the orange cover, right? And the claws up.
oh hell yeah!
That was good, Frank Miller. Really good, Frank Miller. In fact, they have some of the interior art.
Oh no, that one right there, the white one where he's fighting all those ninjas.
That one.
Yeah, that one was good too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Frank Miller definitely had his prime season. Oh God.
All he was doing it for so long. I don't think why would you care if you did one bad cover. I mean, Rob
Well,
Liefeld did a bad cover. Have you seen that Captain America one? That was just
yeah, you know
awful.
what? That's the one piece of art that Diana knows him for.
Yeah.
When he came on the video last night, I think it was last night, right, honey?
Yep.
You
I go,
jumped
is
out
that
and
the
went,
guy
yeah,
that did that horrible thing?
yes, he was all over it. I was like,
No,
oh
there,
yeah.
Diana. There's actually good Rob Liefeld artwork, and then there's
Yeah.
bad Rob. And that
That's
Captain
what
America
Chris
one
was
was
saying.
terrible. Yeah.
It was
I
awful.
defended him. I really did. I defended the guy. I was like, honestly, for all his bad art, he is highly successful. His characters are highly successful.
Yeah.
He's got something.
You're not going to tell a 12-year-old Tim Olson that X-Force #1 was a bad comic book. You just can't, because I mean, literally, that was like I went from just wanting to read comic books to wanting to make comic books after that.
Well, he
Yeah.
brought that kind of like that style of just movement that was missing at the time. And
Yeah.
that was really his hallmark. He could make things flow through the panels explosively, breaking rules all the way.
Yep, rules be damned. And I tell you what, I'd never seen a book where somebody got their hand chopped off and it's flying right at you as you're reading it. Shatterstar versus Reaper. That was a defining moment for me. Like, dude, that dude just cut his hand off, and then said something
And
like,
they showed it.
"I would
And they
kill you,
showed
but that's not the way of my teammates." And so he kicks the chest.
That's so funny.
Oh, my favorite part in that same issue too was when what's her name, Farrell, snapped that other cat mutant person's jaw. But she's like, "What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Snap." Oh yeah, she does. She's like, dude,
Savage.
that's a bad bitch.
But I can see why you'd like that. It was pretty graphic and stuff, and as a kid, you probably loved it.
And not only
right?
that, but really it was at a time, and I'm sorry, even like well, no, I won't say that. Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane were doing some highly expressive stuff too, but Marvel had gotten into a very much a house style, and it was like either it looked like John Romita Sr. or it was
Right.
John Byrne. Yeah, John.
It was all very cookie cutter.
Yep.
Gotcha.
When they had someone they knew was selling, they would say, "Try to draw more like him." And
Oh, and you know, when Rob Liefeld left Marvel, they did the same thing with X-Force.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember in the 90s for a while, a lot of people were trying to emulate Rob. And I even remember an issue of She-Hulk where John Byrne drew like the first 5 pages mocking him. Because John Byrne didn't like him for a while.
I'm sure he didn't.
Well, I've heard John Byrne is kind of a not a nice man, but he's still the greatest comic book artist
Yeah.
in my opinion, and it is my opinion. And I do think like Jim Lee is technically a better artist. I do think that there are better artists than him, but I just
Yeah.
love his cartooning style. I will always favor a John Byrne book.
I really got into Jim Lee when he started doing Wildcats.
Yeah,
That was just my brother liked him. My brother didn't like Rob Liefeld. He had X Force #1, and that's how I got it. We were on a
I
camping trip,
understand that.
yeah, you heard the story. We were on a camping trip, and I was just for some reason sitting in the back of my grandpa's truck, and he walks by and said, "Here, you can have this."
And that was it. That was
That
your
was
baby.
it.
That's funny.
That's
That's
my dark
cool that you
origin story.
Yeah, but you know what? That's kind of cool though that you remember it so specifically. You know what I mean? Like I think that's pretty cool. There's things in my life that don't relate to comic that I can remember specifically that, you could
What do you mean
recall.
doesn't? What was the first comic you ever read?
Who?
You.
Me? Yours?
Ow!
That hurts.
Well, your comics, honey. That's when I started reading them when you forced them upon me and said, read this, bitch.
Did you put her in a headlock and read it? Read it.
No, it's
I'm
funny because
teasing.
it really started on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
She was always in the habit of making breakfast, but then she found herself with an iPad square in her face,
Oh, yeah. That
and
was
me
always-
going, "Make sure there's no typos." That
That's when
was
it
how
started.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it evolved because, of course, she's
And
reading
now you're
stuff. She has
cursed
to give her
forever.
opinions.
Mhm.
Now,
No,
you were
it's
watching
nice.
Rob Liefeld's stream, right?
Yeah. Well,
but
no,
Did
you know
you
who
kind
I
of
was
get the same vibe that I did? What?
What? He's like a major cokehead freakout.
No, it's a weird mix of super hyper and super cranky at the same time.
Okay, that's the same thing. I was just attributing it to coke. I was like,
Oh.
Diana, he's got to be coked out because he was on
you
it
did
was
too.
actually Ed Piskor's show, the guy who committed suicide. I was sitting there
Yeah.
watching, and YouTube flipped on, like it'll do an autoplay for me, and it flipped
Right.
onto his show, and I was like, oh, Rob Liefeld's on. So first I started up, and Diana was like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "I've never watched the guy, but he just killed himself about 6 months ago." So we both got kind of attentive, and
Yeah.
then Rob was just going off. You know how Rob does it, right? Million miles a minute,
Right.
and every like
I
15
think
word
he has ADHD. Honestly, and this is from somebody who has ADHD. I think.
Oh, I
just like,
couldn't
Yeah,
even believe that.
probably
I
does.
was, yeah. But I also like to joke because I'm like, yeah, man, that's coke. He's totally fried right now. He probably wasn't because come on, let's be honest. He's 50 something.
yeah.
He's not a movie star. He has made a ton of money though. He was talking about like the royalties from these books that they were doing in the 90s, and it's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw his actual stream where he was auctioning some stuff, and somebody in the chat made the mistake of telling him he should probably start the bid at this amount right here, and he told him to get the F out. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, when you leave, we're still gonna make fun of you. I just want you to know this." He goes, "I invite you over, but I hate people." At least.
Now, see, here's the thing with Rob. Rob's got that same pass that John Byrne has with me. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'll give you props. You did so much. And then there are other artists that I can't really, I don't want to mention them, but artists that I grew up reading that I'm like, it's cool, but yeah, it's funny because it's not just the fact that Byrne drew throughout my childhood; it's who he really was. Perez was up there, Miller's up there.
Right.
Neil Adams definitely was up there. Neil Adams was kind of the grandfather of that
When it
whole
came
style.
to drawing X-Men, I think Neil Adams pretty good.
How do you not love Neil Adams, right? I mean, he is like at least one of the
Good.
best.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I believe, he was the Batman dude too, right?
Was he?
Yeah, I think let me check that, but I believe Neil Adams had like a great Batman run, except for when he did his solo stuff. He did some stuff that he wrote. It was pretty bad.
The first Batman I actually ever had was It had to have been like kind of like around 1989 because they were doing that. The Joker had to have a purple trench coat after that, and Batman still had the blue and gray, but they were trying to make it seem more like the 1989 Batman.
Yeah, he did. Actually, I think he was close to the house style sometime in the 80s, where everybody was trying to do his Batman. Um, but yeah, this is Neil Adams. Incredible art, man. And what a handsome fella. Look at that grin. I never met him, but I heard he was really a jerk, but everybody admired him. Like he would look at you and tell you you're a horrible artist.
Yeah.
um, he was known for telling people go home and trace so you can learn. Um, he told Frank Miller that he was a wonderful storyteller, but he couldn't draw worth a. Yeah, he did.
Uh, yeah.
But sometimes, and I've met professionals like this, they can come across as stiff and unfriendly, and really they're tired, man.
Well, I don't know. A lot of these ex pros on social media. I mean, like I ran into one where he referred to everybody us as amateurs.
Yeah.
There's professional, and I wanted to say to him, "Oh, you mean like upcomers and has-beens?" But I didn't do it. I just like no, just don't go that way. Don't go that way.
Well, it's real easy. What happens is, and I know this with EVS, he mutes me most times now. I'm muted a lot. He used to block me, but I think he unblocked me because of my string of songs about him. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, okay.
there's no doubt that he inspired a few of those. There's no sense in hiding that. But he unmuted me for a while, but now like I'll test the waters and he'll say something and I'll say something so cold and just calculated and he won't even flinch. So I'm like, yeah, I'm muted. Because this would have set him off to say he would have at least told me to go fly. But there's stuff, he tried to make, I don't know if he was trying to make me feel bad or if he was giving me his honest opinion or whatever, but I was actually supported by a lot of people after that. And I was like,
Oh, that one comment he made.
yeah, and I get it. My stuff
I
is
saw
not
that,
his
yeah.
stuff. I'm not 19 or I'm not 2000s DC house style, which is what I think he is, which is fine. It's a great style. But if I was going to be critical, every artist lives in a glass house, man. We all do something that could be picked apart if the wolves were sent to forth.
I was almost tempted to go, wait, Mister Skyver, sir. Isn't that what Eric July does?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he was going. You said something that offended him, and he was like, you're stop being so gay, and your books are terrible. And I was like, wait a minute, you're being defensive, and you're going at somebody because they made you mad. Isn't that what Eric July does?
Yeah, yeah, or at least did. I think Eric's gotten a little better. Somebody got into Eric's head and helped him at least be less obvious about it.
Right.
Because I mean, look at what's happened to Ethan. He's for Ethan, he's struggling. He's still making six figures, but he thought he'd be in the high sevens by now, and he's kind of messed it up. And I don't know how he's going to rehab it. I'm sure he'll try, and he'll
Why
probably
doesn't he just? Why doesn't he just be happy where he is?
well, because he's Ethan Van Sciver.
Seems kind of
heard him.
greedy.
He's the best ever.
Yeah. It seems to be kind of greedy to kind of like want more and more and more. I mean, like you're already doing well. Why not just enjoy the success?
Well, imagine if he just immersed himself in creating the comics. Although you know what, people have exposed him for using, and the story as Kyle does it adds photographic backgrounds, and I've seen examples, and it looks like yeah, okay, they're using stock images for some of the backgrounds. But if that's the case, doesn't that mean it should be done even faster? I'm like,
well, I mean, like where's he most of the time? He's on YouTube doing a stream,
right. And I don't care what they say. Even if you're doing a draw stream, it's not as productive. It's just not.
This is what I thought is if somebody's working on a comic book, just do a bunch of reruns, a bunch of until you're done, and then come back with a new show.
Yep, yep, you could. And really, in his case, with his viewership, dude, I would spend 2 days a week just shooting, 20-minute episodes about, hey, I'm going to draw this today, and this is how I do it, and do. And then you just release those on an automatic time schedule.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and you draw.
the schedule today is this, this, and this.
Yep, yep. It would work. I mean, maybe we're thinking a little. Maybe I'm thinking a little higher myself to give him advice, but to me that would make sense. I'm like, dude, you need an agent to set you straight, right? Like, or a manager. Like some comic book artists are a lot like a rock and roll star. They go in and they tear up the hotel room and they say bad things to the press, and they do
Really?
naughty. Yes,
I would have never noticed that.
And
yes,
they need they need some kind of agent or something to clean up their mess.
yep,
Yeah.
and to tell them, okay, now don't go in there and tell them all they suck. Go in and be encouraging. Like, that's what kills me, because I've met super pros who are better than him, and they're kind. They look at your work. They might give you a constructive, hey, your elbows need work, or your eyes are crooked here. Try flipping your artwork to see if it works. Things like that. I've gotten so many tips from guys who are 20 plus years in the business.
Oh, I got unsolicited advice the other day, but I didn't get mad about it. And it was something that it was a new page that Sid had done, and he's like, "Well, no, it was Melvin Zero, and that was Rob's artwork, and he was talking about the word balloons." And so instead of getting mad, I go, "Oh, thank you, thank you for your advice. I really appreciate that. Feel free to get a copy."
Good for
No.
you.
No.
Yeah, you got to reflect it and just kind of turn it around, because getting defensive, we've seen what that does.
Yeah.
I mean, too many guys go down like smoke, and it's just sad. I don't know if someone's gonna have the balls to sit there and tell me my book is crap. I'm gonna have the balls to smile and go, well, thank you.
Wow.
Like,
Well,
what do
thank you. But one thing that my book differs from yours is it's on time.
Yeah, it's out. Like,
You
that's
should
what I don't
you should have
get.
said that. You go, well, yeah, okay, my book's
Sorry, guys. Got the hiccups. I don't know why. They came out of
sorry.
nowhere.
But see, that's his justification. He will look at
You should
my
have said
book.
it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you could have said something like, yeah, my book's gay and lame, but it's on time.
Well, it's not even that it's on time. It's actually out. Like, one of the things I have trouble with is time management. I look
Yep.
at the first 9 issues, and I think they've come over the course of 3 years, but it's actually like 3 months in comic book time. Ethan's got 3 years between issues. I'm like, how do you have any continuity? How does a reader get into that story? By the time your next book is out, they may have actually left comics. The passion comes and goes for comic book readers. I spent years not reading comics. I mean, I don't know. It's bad business. It's just not smart. It's going to delay him getting any sort of like traction. Rippaverse is going to end up, they're going to end up making a stupid movie or TV show, and he's going to be so upset. And it's like, you could have done the same thing, dude. You really could have.
Well,
It's all
I
about
don't know
personal.
why he takes so long. And
Yeah,
well, he just likes to make sure it's perfect.
I just find it sad that people. I don't know. They're steady long, steady wrong.
I think, in my opinion, I think it's got something to do with the on-demand feature of Indiegogo, and I think it's about dragging it out to get the most you can per page. Like, on my books, I'm happy if I just get a book or two sold, even if it was just a book or two, because then I can move on to the next issue. And my thought is, okay, let's say we get 12 issues and it becomes popular. Back issues are going to go, omnibuses are going to move. It's just getting into the right limelight, and we're having opportunities open. We're being approached by schools to do presentations. Parents are contacting Diana for sales. Uh, we're getting out into a store again. She's
That's
selling
awesome.
books wholesale. Um, well, I told her, I said, if you don't
You
get
should do more
busy,
cons and more mini.
she would love to. In fact, Diana, do you want to talk about the next show Hero Shack will be appearing at? I said that
Yeah.
very deliberately so you can give the reveal.
The reveal. Okay, so we were contacted by Keith Gleason and Amy Gleason, his beautiful wife, to help them out. They had signed up for a show on Saturday, which is the Tingsboro, oh God, boardwalk show or something. It's like a community show, but it's got like a little bit of everything. It's got food vendors. It's got artisans. It's got comic book people. It has games for kids and whatnot. And so he can't go. So Keith can't go apparently. And so they reached out to Chris and I to see if it's something that we would like to go to. And from what we were told, it sounds like it's a pretty busy summer, kind of end of the summer show. So I'm
8,000
very
plus
excited.
attendance.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So Chris and I talked, and I'm like, unfortunately, my daughter's not going to be home to watch our 5 flipping animals. And I said, why don't I go with Amy, and we can, I'll see what I can do, get some books sold and stuff like that. And so
This is
yeah,
going to be pretty cool too, because Keith is not going either. So
right.
we're sending out the women. And if they come back sold out, guess what? I'm never going to another show again.
That's
Send
terrible.
out the women.
Exactly. No, she does quite well when I'm not there. But I'm not sure. Like, it's going to be different for her because usually she tells people come back, I can sign the books and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
It
she'll
is
have
gonna
to
be
she'll have to
weird.
adjust her strategy a little.
Yeah.
Maybe
Will the
you could have
banner
it.
be in?
What's that?
Will the banner be in?
No.
Oh,
Will
Maybe
not
you can
be.
have maybe you can have Chris's signature turned into a rubber stamp, and you can just stamp the books.
There you go. It's not the
I'm
same.
down with that. I'm down with that.
No.
I'll even sign the stamp. You can show him. Here's his signature.
No, I'm sure you've noticed the that little headline on my X account now. That I make comic books under no banner anymore.
Yeah. Well,
For me, it was the last straw was watching this show where they didn't mind calling Eric July the N word.
yeah, that when they do the racial stuff, I kind of go like, what are they trying to prove at that point?
They're calling him the token N word, and I'm like, this is not something I want to be a part of anymore.
Yeah. Well, they overstepped the boundaries of all sorts of stuff, but that was a real, why? Why are you guys even going there?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's we spent what was the thing that we were trying to say for years about CG about they're saying it's racism. No, it's not racist. It's not racist. And then they throw all that down the crapper by calling him a token N word.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like after that.
You've heard about the Master Racer, right?
What? The Master
he's got the cards, right? Those he's doing Hot Wheel cars basically. And they were kicking around a name, and they're going to call them CG Master Racers. And the joke is exactly what you may guess if you think about the Master Race.
Oh, geez.
And he actually did a stream talking about how some CG Kings were not comfortable with the joke, but he's elected to continue with it anyway. And it's like, oh.
I mean, at any other time it would have been funny, but now after that, it's like, nah.
Well, it's like I could even see him denying it and just saying, "Oh, they're being over." No, they fully embraced it. But you know what? It's like at this point, I think it's almost like they just want to be as outrageous as they can. It's becoming almost like they're wanting to be Dick Matterson over at the trash compactor. So if you offend, you grow, and if you grow, you make money, and it's unfortunate.
I was I was kicking around a script for was it the Zed and Decius 3, and I was gonna make fun of all these people that just kind of just. I mean, it's not so much that they don't like Eric July; it's how hard they go at Eric July.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you? Is it because he's black that you're going at him that hard?
I used to want to say no, but it feels that way, doesn't it? It's like, okay, I'll be honest, I am not the biggest fan of Eric, but give the guy a break. He has been successful. Like, why is that so bad?
because
His comics aren't.
because he's pre-ordering. He does pre-order, which is lower risk for the consumer and low print runs. And crowdfunding is higher risk to the consumer and higher print runs, I think.
That's
Well, you at
interesting.
least hope it's a higher print run. But the thing about it is, I'm just like, I don't care how a creator does it. Like, they complain about his books. Okay, so his books might suck. I don't know. I bought one and I was like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
The plot
And-
holes from what I've heard, are pretty noticeable.
well, for me, it wasn't, because I was just like skimming it and I went, well, it's all right. Yeah. But I do that with a lot of books we get. I don't necessarily I don't look for stuff. I'm just like, if it's not, I don't know, if it's not totally offensive, I just roll with it. Terry, what's up, bro? Um, you know, and with his book, it was full color, it was thick, and okay, it's kind of rough and brutish, but he got through it. All right, you know what I mean. And remember, Ethan loved it when it first came out. So I
Yeah,
was
see,
like,
that's
yeah.
I find interesting. He gave it praise, and then now he hates it.
Yeah.
What changed?
Well, he said he was being nice at the time,
Yeah, but that's not
Well,
right.
that's what he says.
but if we think about
That,
it, how nice is that?
means
If you're not
nothing he
being
says
honest,
is sincere.
what's that?
Does that mean nothing he says is very sincere?
Well, that's the problem. It starts to become like a. So, Ethan, do you mean you're going to deliver next year or 3 years from now? Do you mean that you like the name Master Racers, or is it a mistake and you're going to fix it? Oh, you mean you're going to keep it? Never mind. I don't know. He's got a long, long history, and it's so long now that it's almost ridiculous to even try to go down it. Because I'm thinking in my head, and I'm like, dude, I remember the whole "Daddy Can't Hurt Us All" song. I changed the word to "hurt." I'm thinking of all the stupid, war campaign jokes and all the. It turns out he used to ask them to, I don't know, make memes about how great he was, and he's the human sunbeam. He's the greatest indie comic artist alive, according to him. And I I used to think it was an act, like a wrestler, but I
Yeah.
think he actually believes it.
Well, he does believe it. Of course, he believes it.
Well, I didn't think he did when I first listened to him. I thought surely that's hyperbole. He's just riling the fences, but oh man, I think he believes it.
Well, I mean, like you saw that video where he was like 2 months before he became Comicsgate, he was for the woke crap, and then like all of a sudden he's against it.
Yeah, he when people talk about him in DC and Marvel and whatever happened, I kind of have this idea that he probably did the same thing he's done in Comicsgate to so many people, and they just got sick of it. Like his talent was good enough that he could have stayed there. I mean, he could have continued his pro career, and he just kind of crapped it all out. Made it difficult to work with him.
I don't know. I kind of felt we were also all sold on a load of BS because it made it sound like it was a movement for comic book fans, and it's like I kind of feel like it's almost a thing to prop them up, not.
The
Oh
little
yeah,
guy.
anymore. That's exactly what it is. But I think there was a point when it first started, maybe the first year, where it was predominantly fans who were upset, and they were forming a little group, and where there are fans, creators will show up.
Right.
That's what we do, right?
Yep.
I mean, do you know why I go to comic conventions? It's because there's going to be fans there.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
I still want to do a convention. I think that'd be awesome to do.
A lot
Well,
of
you
work.
have a number of books now, don't you? 2 or 3?
I have about 0, 1, 2. I have about 4.
Wow, that's awesome.
You can start setting up like a little library thing.
Yeah. I'm working on Melvin 4 right now. The rough for page 12 I just got that today.
I haven't done much today. Today was very busy at work. I came home and I tried working on the video, and I don't have the vision yet. And I keep drawing the cardinal. So, because I still have a few more pages on that, the backup story. So I keep going back to it, and man, I just love drawing in black and white. It's the best.
Oh yeah. I kind of like my books being black and white too.
Well, it helps with the printing cost, but because it's black and white in the background, or in the background or the backup story, it's in a color book, so I don't save any money. But it's still worth going through that just so I can have the experience of bringing my artwork to a rendering point in black and white where it's really nice looking. And I think that's what has to happen in issue 10. I think I have to bring that to the color. That just a deep sense of contrast and shadows, light. Ooh, it's beautimous.
It's beautimous.
Well, one of the things that the Marvel artists used to say, Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, they did a video together, and it was "When in doubt, black it out." And there is a logic to that, and it works in cartooning, particularly.
When in doubt, black it out.
When in doubt, black it out.
That's interesting.
I'll show you sometime what that means because it works.
I believe you.
Yeah.
It's still interesting. It's still like, oh, I never thought of that before.
I just sent you, Chris, the recent finished Melvin, the page for Melvin 4
Okay.
Send it on X.
on X.
I may have just seen it on the group chat, but let me go look.
On the Twitters. It's still called the Twitters in some circles.
The Twitters.
The Twitters.
That's so funny. It really is. It just cracks.
You're dead naming it, bro.
Oh man, I don't want to make Elon Musk angry because I called it Twitter.
Shh, dude, he's listening, dude.
Oh man, bro.
Oh, that's funny.
You're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna report you.
Uh-oh. Anyway, if you notice that the backgrounds, I think he used like some kind of what do you call that?
It looks like a brush.
Yeah, he used a brush on it. So the background is not, white. It's
Hang on, let's see. There we go.
he didn't leave it blank.
Yeah, no, I've been doing a lot with the brushes in black and white too. Hang on, let me zoom in and see if he's using the same type. So do you see the little dot patterns in it? This one is actually probably closer to a watercolor, and then there's dots, textures.
Yeah.
That's what the brushes do, and it's awesome. It like really adds a layer to your art,
I don't think he was doing that for Melvin 3. I think it's something new he's trying.
I think you're right, but see how much more, like, I get what he's doing, and actually I dig it. I don't know how you feel about it, but I like it.
I love it.
Yeah. I hope your printer loves it.
Oh, that's not for me to worry about. That's RJ's.
Oh yeah. So I know who you guys are using. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Some local printers in our area, for instance, would want to do that in it would be more complicated with them.
Right.
They use the old techniques. The
Yeah.
old,
techniques.
yeah, and screening and stuff has to happen, and
I
dot
forgot even how to.
patterns.
I forgot even how to do that stuff. I
Oh, so you know
remember.
what I mean, right?
I kind of do. I remember there was a solution we had to mix, and then like you'd have it. You'd have this.
You drank it, right?
No, you didn't drink it.
Yes, we'd go in the dark room. You take a little gin, a little whiskey, and
What?
a touch of orange juice,
Oh,
and you
stop it
drink
already.
it.
So weird. Just stop.
What did you do in high school, Diana?
I went to high school. I went and did my studies and stuff.
This was actually for me in Job Corps. I went
Ah.
to the print shop.
That sounds a little bit like one of those songs. I went to the print shop.
No.
That was stupid. That
No.
was stupid. I'm sorry, guys.
You're forgiven for now.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's amazingly late.
Yes, it is.
It's like 2 a.m, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it's not 2 a.m. It is. I don't even know what time it is. I don't have my watch on. What time is it? Oh, it's 9:47. 9:47.
Oh.
9:47.
You say 9:47. I'm looking at the clock and it's 7:47.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
By the way, world, look what we got. Look what we got.
Oh, is that the book he told you not to get?
Yeah. We got it.
Who told us not to get it?
Wiggle Wiggle. He said, "Don't buy the book."
Yeah.
You did? Oh, yeah, he did say don't buy the book.
We bought it.
So it was
I
like,
wish you would send a little slip there that says, "Did you buy the book after I told you not to?"
Well, it's a very interesting book. I haven't read it yet. Diana has kind of read it.
I skimmed through it. I'm like, it's goofy.
It's
is.
definitely it's a comic. But as you can see, there is the coupon, and it's on the front cover as he promised. I don't know if I'm going to cut it out. I really don't want to cut it out. But
Why
I
would
think
you?
if you cut it
that's
out,
right, you get
he'll send you back something.
right.
Don't know what it's going to be. It'll be something though.
Well, he's just taking the piss out of comic book making. That's kind of what he does.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because like I'm like, so here we have a 29-year comic book professional, and it takes him 4 years plus to put out books. And here comes Wiggle in his pink gorilla suit, cracking jokes, and just kind of, hey, who wants to donate 1 page to my comic? Where you know it, he's got it's not a huge book, but he's got a little comic book going on. And
Right.
I think he had something like 50-something backers. I'm like, damn, that's good. But it goes to show, like, I keep telling Diana I need to quit my job. And I need to go full time in promotion.
Well,
Which would mean I'd need to stream more to promote more. Because I think that's part of it. Exposure is a big, big part of it. I mean, even people with worse comics and bad attitudes are selling stuff.
Hey, what did they tell you about me?
Not you, brother. No. Okay, so there's a guy who's selling novels, right? And he's very outspoken, and he's got like 5 figures in sales, which is tremendous. But from what I can tell, all he does is talk. Like every day, he's out talking, controversial stuff, like the drama, and he's not very good at it. So I'm like, oh, whoa. Hang on, we got somebody in the back room. Let me see who it is. I don't know. I heard somebody and I don't see anybody.
Yeah,
Tim fell out.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. You're saying there's this guy.
Yeah. So he's never made a comic, and he talks a whole bunch of about comic book makers. He's an Eric July hater, of course.
Well, of course.
He's been praised as an up and comer on CG Kings, and like he's got nothing done. And I don't know. It's like all it takes to sell is exposure. So he's been out there doing a lot of streams, talking a lot of smack, and it's not all good. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's got the best reputation, but the fact that he's out there, he's sold a lot of stuff. And I think it just goes to show a lot of it is just exposure. Like, how does someone like Vito sell, what, $100,000 in comic book? He's got a sizable audience to market to.
Oh, I had a joke, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna say that. That's wrong. Like, I know how he sells comic books. First, he gets in a van, and then he.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go there. I knew it.
I'm sorry. God have mercy. Sorry.
Buy my book, or I'm going to the playground. What?
What?
Yeah. What?
What? Huh?
Yeah. He's scary. He says some wicked things, and I'm like, dude. But thankfully, he's no one that we have to worry about. This is the show where these type of people don't come. And I think it's because of Diana.
Why me?
Oh, they fear the housewife.
Because
they're like,
scary.
Oh, she will throw a shoe at me. I better watch my mouth.
There'll be a knock at the door. Also, a shoe flies through the door. She just drives away.
They've all seen Demo Diana. They know that you don't know how to use a gun. So that scares me even more.
She barely can use a hammer.
So the safety, is it on this way or this way?
So you guys want to know what I've been doing since my summer break? Have I been writing? No. I should be writing. But have I been writing? No. I've decided to do more projects, outside projects. So I've got 4 days left before I head back to the school year. And I decided that it was a night I couldn't sleep. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that new retainer wall that I've been talking about for the last 4 years, because currently we have railroad ties and they're falling apart, and it's right in the front of the house and it looks so messy. I'm going to do that. All right. I'm going to go and, I have this whole plan. I've researched how to do this. Yeah. So I'm going to do this.
I have to say, I thought it looked very rustic. It was quite charming.
Look rustic. They were falling over with spike stick. It was awful. So then I said to myself, well, this is a good project. You know what? I would really like to fix our gravel driveway. We need to add a little bit more. We have like a side driveway that I use primarily.
I'm not going to talk to my husband about it.
No, well, I mentioned it. I mentioned it. So I had I had 1.5 tons of rock this morning delivered at 10 of 8. By 10:30, it was spread to the front part of the driveway.
That was not.
And I'm like, I think I need more rock. So I called the guy.
I think I need another 2 tons.
Yeah, I need some more rock. So they just
How
dumped
much did
it.
you get?
And I ran out of energy because first off, the retaining wall blocks that they shipped me were gray. I wanted tan. It won't match my decor. My whole theme is going to be blown away. And I am going to say that while that was not going to happen today, I'm going to do the rock driveway. So I did that. Then I had bought some screen doors because we had some screen doors years ago, and screen doors don't always last, and they've been there for a while. So I ordered some new screen doors, and I like the wooden look because our house is kind of a rustic look. And so I did that today too. So not only did I move 1.5 tons of stone from one spot to another, I did the screen doors. I had to trim them all by 1/2 inch. And no, I did not record any of this. Meanwhile, Chris comes home from work and he just shakes his head. He goes in the house. Comes back out. What? What?
So do you remember me kind of giving you the tip that you should go into a bunch of streams during the day?
Yeah.
How many did you hit?
Well, I didn't really find anything that I would like to go on. I actually didn't look because I got so involved with my rock moving and my screen door trimming and the dog walking and playing.
I'm gonna have
to be annoying and just go in there and bother everybody about your book.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put help wanted signs out in front of the house. Help wanted.
I'm laughing at
Online
Terry.
influencer.
Terry, my coach, did given you until October to finish the outline of your first story. I have so much to do. And will you write the misadventures of Demo Diana? The misadventures. Oh my God, that's so
Probably she has
funny.
no idea that they're misadventures. Like
Oh,
she thinks they're all wonderful triumphs.
yes,
I'm
my
like,
neighbor came over and said, I don't know where you get the energy. I said, neither do I. I said, I just want to get it done. Now I've got these two big projects that I got to do. And
she
that's what I've been
enjoys.
up to.
No, she's into paying guys, and I don't
No,
mean
I'm
like she's weird, like in weird ways. I mean, she enjoys going out and sweating
not.
and getting dirty and getting bruised
Yes.
and bumped and
Well,
scratched.
no, I don't like all of that, but I do like it's like a workout, guys. It's amazing.
No, she
I
loves
love
all
it.
that. She comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'm so tired and I got bruises from this and oh, it's so hard and oh." She loves it. It's ridiculous. I'm
Ugh,
like, stop, draw her comic, but she doesn't.
I will though. I'm
You
getting
will
there.
not. You might write a comic.
Yeah, I will write when I won't try. I could do like I could do uh Tim, I just saw his comment.
I need to buy you a drone that follows you so that
Why?
when you're so they have these auto follow ones, right? And we
Yeah.
can follow you around the yard and then have you, come back in and narrate it like,
I don't
"Oh,
think
here
that would
I am at the garden, and this is me excavating. I installed underground plumbing so that the roots could probably be hydrated." And you'll
I did
see her and how she does stuff. Like when she digs into the ground, she's got like a garden spoon,
I
one
do
of those.
not. I have a
Yeah,
real shovel.
yeah. It's
Perfect
pink.
height for me.
It's
Not
got a pink handle.
shut up. So, anyways, enough talking about that nonsense. And so Terry, I will get something out. I'm feeling the need. I'm just such I don't know what's wrong with me. So let's get the focus off of me now because I don't like walking. It's almost 10 o'clock and I'm tired and I have a busy
Okay.
day tomorrow. So I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
have to work. We're setting up for school. And everybody's, every little thing becomes an emergency as school gets closer, and none of it is. It's just there's a lot of it, and it is little things, but it's going to be the busiest week of the year, and then everything gets a little smoother.
well,
You finally saw that, huh?
yeah, I did. I just finally saw that. I am like, oh my God.
She's telling Chris how amazing the job is, all the while the forest burns and smoke on the water is playing in the background.
Joey, man, how long you been there, bro? God, hail Joey.
Hey, Joey. Okay, I had to
Hey,
respond to Terry.
Joey!
I had to respond to Terry. Did I spell it right? I'm terrible tonight. My middle finger of my right hand is a little swollen from all the shoveling today.
How will
No,
you be able to signal while you're driving?
I have levers that do that work for me. I just flick it up and down.
Oh, okay.
she's not getting it. Yeah, but what do you do when someone cuts you off?
Not my middle finger, my ring finger, you guys. That would look dorky if it was my ring finger if I flipped it.
Wait a minute, you don't know? Ever
Well,
since the Swifties took over, it's the ring finger.
it's
Swifties use
not.
the ring finger, honey.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they
No.
don't use the middle finger. They use the ring finger.
Who
Swifties.
doesn't? Who?
The Swifties,
What's
Taylor
a
Swift fans.
Oh my
Oh,
freaking! Leave me alone. Stop it already. I'm not. I have nothing against Taylor Swift, but I'm not a fan.
You
I'm
are a fan. I saw you singing her stuff.
what? No.
You were singing her
Oh.
songs.
she's
Billy
a
Joel.
she's
Yes.
a closet Swiftie.
No, I
Yeah,
like Billy
yeah.
Joel. It's a good movie. I was
Oh
watching.
yeah, name one song that Billy Joel sang.
The one I was singing tonight.
Oh, that doesn't count. You got to give a title.
I
That
gotta give
wasn't
it.
Billy Joel.
What
That wasn't Billy Joel.
was it? No, it
Oh,
was
you're
Bruce
busted.
Springs. Oh wait, it was Bruce Springs.
Yeah, I told her that was grounds for divorce.
I said Bruce Springsteen. I can't even.
Well, she's in there and she's singing, and it's not even like one of his commercial songs. It's one of his like old barroom brawling type songs. And she's like, la da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God,
I was
don't
watching a
tell me you know
movie,
this. She's
number
like, yes,
one.
I like Bruce Springsteen. And I'm like, I should divorce you. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. And then I got a
No.
lecture about how she can separate the artist from his mind and his opinions. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, not
I
me.
didn't get a lecture. I said, I don't listen to songs and think about the person that wrote the songs. I listen to the songs, number one, because they're enjoyable. Because Chris is like, oh, he's such a blah, blah, blah. I says, I don't care what the artist is like. I'm enjoying his music. I don't have to be friends with him. I'm just, it came on the movie and I
You
liked
remember
it.
that song? The devil came down to Georgia and he had like a fiddle in his hand.
Stop it.
And he had to have a contest
Mhm.
with another guy with a violin in his hand.
So we should end with this conversation. Not this one, but this one. So,
Which one?
guys, when Chris and I first got together,
Oh
I
yeah.
recognized immediately that he had some food issues, some food fetishes, food, whatever you want to call
Food fetishes.
it. Yeah, he's just really weird about
No,
food.
because I'm discriminating.
He's not discriminating. He's weird. Um, so bread, I buy bread like a loaf of bread. You know, I'm going grocery shopping. I'm buy Chris a loaf of bread. He likes sandwiches for lunch. Blah blah blah. There's about like 10, half a loaf of bread left, and all of a sudden I notice he's not eating bread. And I'm like, honey, why won't you eat the bread? It's too old. Chris, I just bought this bread 3 days ago. It's too old. It just feels funny. Okay, so that's a half a loaf of bread thrown out. I'm gonna go buy a new loaf of bread. Okay.
What?
So then I was cooking. I was making like pasta. I was making homemade sauce. Now I like to use fresh garlic in my homemade sauce. It gives it a nice
Oh,
flavor
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
oregano and all that. Okay. And of course, does Chris gets a piece of the freaking garlic in his sauce, and he's freaking out like, "What is this? What
I'm
is this?"
sorry. This thing was the size of a golf ball.
It
And there were
was
multiple of
not.
them. They were
It
staring at
was
me
a
from under the
sliver.
spaghetti.
It was
They
pokes
weren't
at
even
me.
peeled. They still
Chris
Are
had
is
you
dirt
a
trying to?
underneath.
He
vampire.
thinks I'm trying to kill him. Are you trying to kill me? What is this? I
I
said
bit
it's.
into one. She goes, it's an onion. I
I
said,
said
it's
no.
not an onion.
I said it's garlic. He swears I told him it was an onion. And then it just goes on. He won't eat things if
Okay,
I'm
so if we're telling
homemade.
stories, honestly, this is
He
the
won't.
same woman who tried to pass off a pastry with 4 holes in it as a Twinkie.
It was it said Twinkies on it. Well, it said Twinkles or something. They
Yeah,
were
Oh,
it
it,
was
not.
not
it was
Twinkie.
generic brand. Okay, I
It was
get
a
you.
generic
Twinkies have
brand, and
only
I
3
didn't pick.
holes, baby.
Oh my
3
god!
holes.
So guys, for his birthday one year, okay, I
Oh,
said,
that
all
was
right, I'm gonna
horrible.
give him. He likes Twinkies, so I'm gonna make him a Twinkie. I'm gonna go buy a back. I'm gonna buy some Twinkies. He picks a Twinkie up. And he looks at it, he goes, these aren't real. I'm like, excuse me? They're not real Twinkies. Where's the box? That's Chris's famous line. Where's the
The
box?
box.
Show me the friggin' box. What kind of twig? And he will go in the trash and look for the box to
Oh,
argue with me that it's not the same brand or whatever. He's ridiculous.
oh,
He's
I
ridiculous.
know.
I'm ending with that story
Well,
because it
she
was
made me listen. That same year, she made me a homemade cake because my mother told her I like homemade cakes, and she didn't understand my mother's idea of a homemade cake was a Betty Crocker in the box cake. And she went and found this recipe book, bought all this crap, made this cake that was it was thick, wasn't it, honey? It
no,
was
it
it was
was it was very dense. It was a homemade cake.
that's what I
Homemade
mean.
cakes,
It
if you've
wasn't
never
spongy.
had them,
It
are
was like
very dense. It's not light,
yes.
fluffy stuff. It's a good
Like
cake. It's a
you
yellow
use a
cake.
serrated steak knife to cut it.
You did not have to use
you, you, oh, you want to hear some? You want to hear one of my? Okay, so I like hamburger, right?
it. Okay.
But I hate meatloaf. Figure
Why?
figure it. I just hate the texture.
It's the same thing, but in a square rectangular
No,
loaf.
no, he's right.
Look,
No, he's right. It's definitely
Listen,
different.
it's different
yeah,
because you add breadcrumbs and you add
yeah.
other
The texture's funny. I don't like the way it
That's what it
tastes.
is. Oh
So
my God.
that's one of my weird things. Is I
That
like
is weird.
hamburger. I like to
Diana,
have.
do you add egg to your meatloaf?
Of course I do.
Okay. Yeah, no, my mom used to. I didn't know if you did.
Yeah. It's eggs and
By the way,
breadcrumbs and stuff and whatever.
Terry knew exactly what song I was hinting at.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know you were supposed to
Charlie
guess.
Daniel.
Yeah, I knew that song. Um, Joey, I'm glad you checked in, buddy. I hope things are going well for you and the little
We got a
family.
party to go to soon with them, right?
His wedding's coming up. I think it's
Yeah, man.
Oh,
and he's getting married very
congratulations.
soon. I know, right? His fiance, she's adorable.
She's a singer.
She's
She's
a
a singer.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because that's the poor girl, right? All he ever calls her is the singer. Oh, I'm so tired.
She went to school for you, honey.
Wait. So if she's getting married, would that technically make her the wedding singer?
Oh, I can use that, right?
You can use that when you see her. You can use that if you want.
I will, because
Good.
I struggle to remember her name.
What have I done?
I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm like, all of a sudden it hit me how tired I am.
Tired too. So, guys, we're gonna kill the stream. Like I've been saying all night long, go back to Great Cyclopean issue number 9.
Issue 9.
Yeah,
Issue
man.
9. Issue 9.
The Beatles, baby. Do you remember that one, Diana?
What?
The Beatles had that number 9. Number 9. Do you remember it?
No.
Ah, all right. So I'm gonna send us off with a song about the Great Cyclopean.
Okay. Guys, thank you for popping in. If you're rewatching this, don't forget, check out the Great Cyclopean 9.
What? Say that again?
I'm done.
No, I won't do anything. Go ahead.
No, you no, you do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tim, honored viewers, and everybody.
Boys and girls. People of all ages. The Great Cyclopean 9.
Romper room, what do you see?
Okay.
Magic mirror, look at me.
Okay, I'm really leaving now. Tim,
You know what she did next, right? She would do things like,
Terry,
hello,
thanks for
Mark,
popping in.
hello.
I'm going to work on it. I promise you, one of these days, you guys are going to be so proud of me.
All right,
But
I'm
you
going to
guys
do it
want the
now.
night. All right, good night, everybody. Peace
Good night,
out.
bro.
Peace out.
Issue 9 is here at last. Yeah. Secrets are all falling fast. Do tell. Torn apart from heart to mask. Yowcha. Heroes fighting to the last. Back the book and make your day. Go with curiosity. Tripping to the shop and drop. Tripping to the shop and drop. An awesome book that's sure to slay. Back it up straight to the top. We got your back, baby. No one ever stop. The Great Cyclopean. The great, the greater, the greatest. Click, clack, boom, boom, and bloom. GC9 on Fun My Comic. Dropping names. Great Cyclopean 9 on FMC. This ain't no game. GC9 so fine on FMC. Not no shame. Good stuff exclusively. Let's make it rain. The great, the greater, the greatest on FMC right now. The Great Cyclopean.